Today we have this is a special occasion because not only are we appearing together, we can't always, but today we are introducing you to our two brothers, our sisters-in-law, and our husbands. So everyone has their name on their apron, so be sure and follow who's who. All right, Randy, Brad, should we do the Mouseketeers? And these are the original 5 Fifes, and we are pleased and honored to have them as our special guests. First, Randy and Brad will demonstrate Randy's bean dip. Take it off. I mean, no, don't say that. No, cancel it. That one.
I like that one.
All right, here's the new part. Here you go.
Okay, Randy, take it away.
Okay. Well, I was asked to do a bean dip, and I got thinking, why would they ask me to do this bean dip? Because my sisters and my brother are great cooks, and I'm more of a kind of a cook challenge type of guy that really struggles. But I do remember cooking up very simple things, and in this bean dip recipe, there are 3 ingredients. And I call this bean dip, affectionately, it's called my bean dip. And but some of the ingredients are, I start off with, if it's for a large group, I use what do I use? A 30-ounce can of refried beans.
Rosarita.
Rosarita. They have different brands, but I'm kind of partial to Rosarita. And they do have different tastes. But refried beans have fiber in it. A lot of fiber and a lot of nutrients.
Oh, that's music to my ears.
Okay. Now, for some reason, when guys talk about beans and stuff like that, they just have a tendency to giggle. And I'm doing this for my sisters, and I don't want them to be disappointed, so we're going to try and keep this clean. But besides, beans aren't fruit. Anyway.
But they're magical.
But, Brad. Then the next ingredient would be
this one.
cream cheese. And a little bit later, I'll have Brad cut the cheese.
Oh, man.
And then the third ingredient is salsa.
And where's that salsa from, Randy?
Philadelphia. But you can use Walmart or any other kind of cream cheese, which is...
No, I'm talking about the salsa.
Oh, okay. This salsa is from Connecticut. But it is pretty good. For this demonstration, we're going to be using Pace. This is some of the first salsa I tried, and it's actually pretty good. So if you're a Pace fan, use Pace. I tried Newman's Own. They have, most salsas have a mild, medium, and a hot. And I just want to inform everybody that cream cheese has a tendency to cool things down a bit. Just like sour cream. I love this jalapeno salsa, and when I use it, I put a little sour cream on it, and it's not as hot as just taking it straight. So cream cheese kind of brings it down a little bit. And then, but I used the Newman's Own medium. I used the light first, and it had a great flavor, but after a while it seemed a little bland. And I have a daughter that's very sensitive to hot, spicy foods, but I went to the medium jar, and she really likes it. She says, yeah, it is a little hot stuff, but it tastes really good. In fact, I made some over to bring over here, but she wouldn't let me take it, so I'm going to have to make some more. So what we do is it's very easy. 3 ingredients. You need a can opener, you need a little knife, and you need a little string. So I'm going to have Brad go ahead and open up this can of beans.
Look at the camera once in a while, Brad.
And the knife is, when you open up that cream cheese, they always have it wrapped up in that kind of foil thing. It's a little bit awkward to take. And so I use a knife to do a little incision and just kind of peel it back. Have kind of a napkin nearby because I found no matter what you do, you're going to get your fingers in the cream cheese.
Okay.
And which brings up another point. You guys make sure you wash your hands before you do this. I did.
Have a towel nearby too.
And so, Brad, go ahead and dump the beans,
Into the bowl.
the refried beans, into the bowl.
And here's the bowl.
It's a bowl. It's good to have kind of round shaped bowl because it's got corners and stuff. It's a little bit harder to
Empty.
stir. Okay, now I'm going to use this can a little bit later, so don't throw it away yet. Okay, so next thing we add is cream cheese. Now my sister already pulled it out of the.
No, she didn't.
Okay, you go ahead and do it. I already need a paper towel.
Here's the towel.
Okay, thank you. Ooh, excuse my fingers.
Got it?
I probably would have done this a little bit different, but Brad's doing fine. Okay. Now, the way I start, now everybody has their own different techniques, but this is the way I've been doing it, and I've probably been doing it wrong all this time, but what I do is push it all down, get it kind of down in there, and then you got a dirty spoon already, so what do you do with it? You don't want to lay it on the counter and dirty it, so that's why I keep the can.
That's good.
So you put it in the microwave. A lot of microwaves have different settings, and I'm not sure I'm going to use this one. And so what I always do is just start off maybe with a minute or two, and then you just kind of mix and you just keep doing it. So I'll start with a minute. And, a minute to win.
All right. Hey, do you remember Eddie Don's?
Yeah. Oh, before we get into that, there's you can half this, and that's what I usually do forward because just for one guy, all this bean dip could cause a lot of problems in storing it for a long term. I don't know why people are laughing, but and so you can half it by getting a 16-ounce can, then cutting a half a cream cheese, and then a half a 16-ounce bottle of Newman's Own. But make sure you just, actually you can take one of these bottles and just scoop out half. You don't, make sure you don't cut the bottle. Anyway.
Do you remember Eddie Don's bean dip?
Oh, wasn't that the best?
You know, in high school, we were always so hungry, and we never really wanted to put much time into something.
Yeah.
But that was amazing.
Yeah,
What was the recipe?
what Eddie would do, he'd go to the store and buy a can of the Frito-Lay bean dip, and then he'd buy a can of
Shredded beef.
of just roast beef.
Right.
Roast beef. He just mixed the two together. You got a burrito. Boy, that was so good. In fact, I'm going to order some of that. Amazon is really quick. I'm just going to order it. Have you ever heard of same-day shopping? Well, I got it within a couple hours. It was just amazing. But anyway, okay, there's the order. Just a minute.
Ooh.
That was fast. I gotta shut that doorknob off. Or doorbell off. But anyway, I just ordered a can of roast beef.
Okay,
And
good.
Brad was, in his old days of working, he was known as the demolition guy. And people from all over the buildings, when he worked at Hughes, would come and see him tear down a wall because they loved it, because he'd start off just bashing his head through the wall. He always made sure the studs were like that. So
Here it is.
all right, perfect, perfect. So I like the Walmart, but
Great value.
there's something that's really important for this. You'll find this in different brands and stuff. I like the Great Value brand, and it also says on it beef with beef broth. They also have it with gravy.
Say that 10 times.
Now, we don't have time.
Throw.
But do not, I would not advise you to get the beef or with gravy. You're mixing up with the beans and stuff like that, and that could be a big mess and it could look really horrible. But anyway, Brad, go ahead and open this up. In fact, be careful, you don't need a can opener.
Oh. Oh, the gravy just went everywhere.
It's not great. It's white and white.
Okay, keep the lid on. In fact, the way I do it, I partially open it up and you squeeze all the juice out. But
Okay, now the juice goes.
No, just dump the juice. Or you can save it for later for something else, French dip, so I don't interest in. So at this point, it's kind of chunky. You kind of put it in there like that. Oh, you wanna, let's stop and see how we're doing with our beans here.
That's 30 seconds.
Do another minute. And so it's kind of chunky, so you take a couple forks, but you do it. You just use what you got. You just kind of pull it apart.
That's a spoon.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have a fork.
Get him a fork, Brett. It's right behind you.
Actually, it's better with two forks.
Do you want smaller ones?
No, that's be fine. That's what I have in mind. This is salad, not roast beef forks. So
Anyway,
what goes under that?
is this shredded enough, Randy?
Keep working at it. I'll work the bean. It's starting to get a little warm here. Excuse me.
Why do you do this with 2 forks? Are you shredding the beef? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, you're just kind of breaking it up into smaller chunks or smaller pieces. You can't shred it. If you have it chunky right in your burrito, it would be a little too much.
That looks pretty good right there.
Okay, it's starting to get a little warm. Seems like the cream cheese
More.
takes a little bit more to
I'll put it back in.
melt.
Okay, put
And
it
again,
in there.
just stick it in there.
That's brilliant.
Okay, where were we? Eddie Dom's burritos. Oh, this is pretty good, Brad. No,
Do you have any Frito corn or dip?
no.
Well, how are we going to make this?
We're making dip right now, Brad.
We're using that dip instead.
We're using what do we call this dip? We're using my dip.
The My Dip.
The My
And
Dip.
are we using the half portion or?
Right now we're making a full portion,
Okay.
but we're going to portion that out a little bit later so we can do a little experimentation. I had it a couple times.
There you go.
Okay.
And I can spell mayonnaise.
Ooh, mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's a tough word.
We got the wrong ingredient here.
Okay, get the.
Which one? Oh yeah. Look at that. It's getting lighter.
And that looks good too.
Now, no, Brad, I'm not going to let you use the Bluey Fluffy chart.
Oh, come on.
We
Everybody knows Bluey.
We want our sisters to be proud of us.
We like Bluey too.
Did you see that episode?
No.
You better not. You may change your mind. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And you could have it lumpy and have it like a burst of cream cheese, or you just kind of keep smashing those lumps down. Okay, there we go.
Done?
Yeah. Okay, now we got the paste that we're going to use. But again, I want to talk about the different styles I've used in the past. They're all pretty good. This is they call it, it's a not as hot, probably basically medium, the Newman's Own, which I thought was pretty good. And we need those for later.
Oh,
Just drop one on the floor, and I'll throw that away. I don't believe in the 5-second rule.
the what roll?
Throw it away. Okay, so you take we're going to do paste, and you just kind of drop what you think is maybe about a half a bottle You do a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on your.
I like the measurement.
Oh. What do you call it? A little dash
Well, you can do a dash of something liquid.
or a pinch?
You gotta take your pace.
So now you're getting more of the consistency of a dip.
Say that 10 times.
You dip, you dip, you dip. You dip, you dip.
Okay.
Oh, Brad, I forgot your hairnet.
Thank you.
Especially when I'm stirring. Okay. Now this is what I call this is kind of a basic bean dip, which I could call bean dip basic. And what you can do, this is great as it is. I'll have Brad try a taste. Get a scoop. Well, I like to talk about, this is kind of my preferred chip, the Frito Scoop. I love Fritos. But it is a strong chip. Now, we do have the other regular corn chips, which you can use, but I have a hard time with it, probably more so than anybody else, because I get too much bean dip on my chip and it just breaks and it's back in there. And then when I go and grab it, people think I'm double dipping. And I'm not, I'm just getting the original one out.
There's a way around double dipping. Okay, where's the chip?
Oh, that's brilliant. But what are you going to do with it? You just walk around the party with it.
No, in case I want to try it again. See, I can get another chip.
Now this is a
Oh, that's good.
this is a medium, so it's going to have a little bit. Doesn't it? And if you really want to kind of spruce it up, sometimes I'll throw in this Tapatio in it, which is a good, puts a little cook. It just takes a few drops and goes a long way. Okay. Now what I like to do is let's try Eddie Dom's burritos with my bean.
Outstanding.
Okay. So I have a pack of should I use that bowl?
Get another bowl.
Tortillas.
Shredded cheese. I kind of like the Colby Jack blend, which is basically just Monterey Jack and cheddar.
Do you use this?
Oh, here's the bowl.
Do you heat the burrito bread at all?
Burrito bread. The tortillas. You gringo. But anyway, yes, you do. But first of all, let's get a plate that we can put in the microwave.
Right there.
And get kind of the stuff out of the way. You throw on a tortilla. Yeah. And then you kind of put a little, now I don't know if you guys know how to fold a burrito. There's a special technique where it won't come out of the bottom. You kind of put a little slice of bean dip in there, but you don't go all the way down. You put a little bit of cheese alongside of it.
You know what would be fantastic with that? If you have some Ortega chilies.
The options are endless. You can have Ortega chilies. I found out they do come in mild but also hot. Ortega chilies are really good on eggs and a lot of other different things. I really like. In fact, Del Taco used to make an Ortega burger. You know, I loved it. And Brad told me about this place that had the old recipe. So I go in there and
I made a mistake.
I order an Ortega burger, and they look at me and they said, "We haven't made that in 25 years." I felt about like that.
That was 25 years ago too.
Okay, so go ahead and microwave this up. Might take about 30 seconds.
Wait, the meat.
What about the meat?
Oh, about 30. Well, the meat, what we usually do, like with the Eddie Dom's way, you take, I would take about a half of a bean dip recipe. Then this is what I do. I put the whole can in there and just mix it all up so it's all ready. But for this purpose, we'll just kind of add it on the top.
There you go.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So we just kind of wait a little bit until you start seeing those cheese bubbly. That's all you really need to do. The beans and the meat heats up pretty much about the same time.
Outstanding.
Oh, I understand. Okay, this is, the anticipation's killing us. One thing I discovered with my bean dip, there's a compliment or a drink that just really complements the whole bean dip experience. Let me go get some. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called IBC root beer.
IBCU.
IBC. And it really goes good well with it. It complements the bean dip and just it's got a great bouquet to it. And I just can't think of any. I tried A&W, it just doesn't have quite the same experience with it.
There you go.
Okay, now let me show you how to fold a burrito. It's about like folding a diaper. Well, that's kind of a bad example considering the contents, but you guys don't. Well, let's say it's like folding a paper airplane with only using one fold. You just kind of do that from the bottom where you didn't have any stuff. You just gently roll it over and over and over and over.
That's how you do a diaper?
Yeah, my wife didn't like the way I did it either. But, so there you got an Eddie Dom's burrito with my bean dip. Oh,
Outstanding.
I want you to grab.
What?
Okay, let's get you a scoop of here.
Don't go there, Brad.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a little bite.
Oh, really?
Just a minute, not yet. Ooh, it's hot. Oh man. I get 30 seconds. Anyway, that tastes great.
Did it have a
Go
bite?
ahead, go ahead and try one.
Want me to try it?
Yeah, you say it's less.
Why'd you give me this?
Well, the good ones are taken.
It tastes great.
No. Take this.
Okay.
And then you say,
And dip it where?
go ahead and try it with the chip, just as a dip.
Oh.
And you say less filling.
Wow. Less filling.
Tastes great.
Less filling.
Okay, that concludes our demonstration. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up down below.